Okay, so we are live now. Hello, hello, trending gist lovers. Welcome back. I remain your girl, Octavia Cora. Look, you see me smiling? I hope you have your popcorn and your wine because it is going down. First of all, let's double check our sound before we dive right in. Now, look, if you're seeing me for the first time and you are interested in the Real Housewives of Lagos, then you know what to do. Hit that red subscribe button, turn on your notification bell because it will make you feel happy afterward, okay? You will feel good. So do it now and thank me later. And that way you are not going to miss out on. Okay, all right. So our sound is good. I always love to double check the sound before um okay. So I just leave this here so I can see comments if I don't see them here. All right. So, like I was saying, let me see. I really want to position this. Okay. Yeah. Good. Let me know if you comment. Hope it's clear. It's good enough. Okay. So, like I said, I am Octavia Cora, and I'm your host. Here we dissect, we analyze, and we've been following the Real Housewives of Lagos because this is a reality show that not everyone have access to because it is only on Showmax. And some persons do not know how to go about it. But if you want to subscribe to Showmax, you go download the app, subscribe, and that's how you can watch the Real Housewives of Lagos. Okay, now look, a lot of you were complaining that how is it that from season one, episode one, two, three, and four, the sixth lady was not there. When we finish reviewing this episode 5, then you will really understand why the sixth lady is just coming in now because the lady is hot and the lady is none other than Miriam Tima. Goodness me. She served it hot on this episode. Like it's just anyways, just don't forget to subscribe, join the family. Let's do this together. And the show always it's always on Fridays, but sorry, my weekends are always busy, so I'm not able to come review that same day when it's hot. But I try my best to either do it on Saturday or latest Sunday. So I apologize to each and every one of you. And I see those of you that watch this. Please, come on, man. We're getting due on this. Subscribe also, okay? Just turn on the subscribe button. Let's get this to the permanent site. Okay. All right. So, like we talked about, let's dive right in now. Okay. I hope you all are doing well this Sunday. Okay. So, like I said earlier, when we reviewed the last episode, we talked about how Choma was the next person to host. Okay. After Caroline. And then they showed us what was going to happen this week, which is on Friday, what was going to happen in episode 5, where they were all in Abuja. They were in the beautiful hotel, the Hilton, right? Transcorp, yeah, hotel. And the ladies, like Choma told them that the ladies could come with a plus one. Now I'm just going back to review, to just drop in some for those of persons that didn't watch uh, the review, the episode 4 review. So if you've not seen the episode 4 review, please do that. Okay, go to my channel. They are on a playlist, so you can watch from the beginning and just catch up. Then you watch the episode 5, so you understand everything we're discussing. Okay, so that being said, so the ladies, when Choma invited all the ladies, Choma said everybody could bring a plus one, which I thought was cool because since some of the ladies were fighting, so having a plus one is like, okay, even if you don't want to talk to that person you've been beefing with, you have your plus one that you could keep people company. And I thought that was wise of Choma. Anyways, so this episode 5, okay, started from there. Okay, they were all in the slumber party wearing their PJs. You know how the people dress for slumber party, all nice, all looking good. I love how they all wore different types. Some of them wore like short ones, some wore long, some wore like just different style of PJs and all of that. So it was cool. Some of them had the bunny stuff, a lot of them on their head. So it was just a team, but they were all just sitting down in the room, and everybody was pressing their phone or just rolling their eyes, and just like, this is somehow, because now remember, the ladies, they know themselves because they've met before, they're like friends, they hang out together, they go to parties together, all of that. But then their plus ones don't know each other, so it kind of became kind of weird. Now, like I said, on when we reviewed episode 4, Tiana brought two plus ones, okay, so which is her daughter that just came in, I think from London, from I think somewhere from the UK or so, abroad, and she's also the one that invited Miriam. But Miriam is the sixth lady that is supposed to be among them. But I really do understand, because a lot of people were complaining that why is it that it is Tiana, that is Tony Lawani, that is going to invite the sixth lady when she's part of the show, she's part of the franchise and everything. And I was like, there must be something that Showmax is trying to give us. And when we finish reviewing this, you will understand why it is like that. Okay, so Tiana brought plus two, not plus one, as the host said, Choma. But anyways, at the slumber party, all the ladies were looking good. Now I'll be looking to the side, because I always, if you've been following this, then you know how we do it. We always put down the notes and all the important stuffs and everything. So I give it to you, because I know some of you are not watching it. You just watch the review as we sit and review this. So I really try to, I want to give you all the details so you feel like you are actually watching along with us. Okay, so you don't miss out on anything. Okay, because I'm going to describe their looks, the events, everything. Okay, so at the slumber party, I have my notes by my side, so I'll be looking to my side. At the slumber party, all the ladies were looking so good, like I mentioned. Okay, so after Choma noticed that the ladies were kind of somehow, they showed her in a confession, and she was like, yeah, she knows that this is something that is common with women, that when they don't know each other, they are always kind of weird. They behave kind of strange to each other. They don't always kind of warm up quick to people. So she would try to introduce a game or something just to make light of the whole stuff. So then Choma started a game, which is the dancing, the chair dancing game, which they put less chairs than the number of people. Then they play a song, and you people have to dance around it. And then when the music stops, everybody has to sit. So if you don't catch any of the sit on time, you're out. So they just repeat that up until you have a winner. Okay, so Choma walked in and said, we're going to play a game. So before she even started talking, that was when the sixth lady walked in, and that is Miriam Tima. Goodness me. Bye, pitches. She really came in with fire, like she was prepared. Anyways, let's wait. That you're going to hear all the details later. Let's just keep chatting. Let's keep going. Okay, so Miriam walked in and said hello to everybody, and she started hugging some persons, shaking some persons, and she was just going line by line as she came in. When she got to where Caroline was, um, she shook Caroline, but according to her, she said Caroline shook her like this, unlike the way other ladies, they grab and they shake their hands, even though you don't know the person. And she felt like Caroline was giving her the vibe like she had COVID or something, and like that wasn't it. But for me, looking at watching this, I don't see Caroline has this so I can understand where Miriam is coming from. But at the same time, when the camera, because the camera did kind of show that very well, it was clear. I don't think it was really like this kind of shake, because it was not necessarily full handshake, but it was something. And another thing you have to consider, most of these ladies, they wear very long artificial nails. So putting that into consideration too, that could be one of the reasons why she didn't really grab that food. But anyways, let's not make excuses. That's just what it is. It's a drama. They will always serve us drama, something. But it's almost like Miriam came in prepared. Remember, she was invited by, what is this? Sorry, I have some bothering us. Okay, so remember that Miriam was invited by Tony. So I feel like Tony has already given her downloads, or what to expect from all the ladies. So she came in prepared already. Like, okay, I've heard something about you. That's how I feel. That's how she came in. But anyway, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So like I said, I have my note by the side, so I always look to the side for us to um they're like, okay, so then Miriam walked in. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so when Miriam hugged everybody and then Miriam sat down and then they started the game, okay, the chair game, and they played the music. Choma told them the rules of the game and what they can do and what they cannot do, and they started playing the games and people were going out. And then Miriam and Choma were the two last standing, okay? So now it was like, let's see who will win. Hello, hello, I think someone just joined us. Hello, feel free to say hello so I can welcome you properly. Okay, so when it was just both of them, they showed Choma in her confessional, and Choma was like, okay, I'm the host. I will just allow Miriam to win this. But I feel like Miriam is a very competitive person. Hello, Honest Kitchen and Lifestyle. Thank you very much for joining us today. How are you doing today? Okay, so I feel like Miriam looked like someone that is very, very competitive. So when Chama was like, I'm the host, so I'm just going to let her win this. In my mind, I was like, yeah, tell me about it. Okay, we have someone else also here. Feel free to comment so I can welcome you properly. All right, so when she said, I was like, yeah, right. Miriam is like someone that in Nigeria, they have this thing they call Agbero. So Miriam has this Agbero look, like it's kind of someone that can do anything, someone that is always prepared, someone that is kind of raz out there. That she has that kind of vibe. Okay, so I knew she was going to like give it to them when it comes to competition for any game or anything. And even if it's a battle, I feel like Miriam can stand her ground because of the way she's coming, like the way she entered this. It is just something else. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Thank you, Honest. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so then let's see what happened next. Okay, Honey said I'm fine. That's good. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Okay, so up next. Okay, so after the game, Miriam actually won, but Choma was kind of saying she didn't want to be too competitive because she was the host and it to be somehow if she would win, so on and so forth. Okay, hello, 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 hello. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay. All right. So when Miriam, sorry, not Miriam, when Choma said that, I was just like, okay, yeah, use that as an excuse, but Miriam was not holding back. She really came in hot, like I said. But then they now showed Miriam in her confessional, and Miriam already started complaining that all the ladies were, they were kind of okay. They shook her hand when she came in and all of that. But Caroline was kind of weird that she didn't like the way Caroline shook her hand. But Caroline, anyways, as she didn't care and all of that. All right. So after that chair game, after they did that dance around the chair or dance something game, then Choma decided that they were going to play another game, okay, which is different from the first one they just finished playing. And the second one was Never Have I Ever. So when it went into this one, Miriam was kind of, holding back, saying things like, playing this kind of game with a bunch of strangers. Remember, though they're familiar, the six ladies are familiar, and at this point in episode 5 now they are complete because the only person that was not in episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 was Miriam, but now she's with them, so the six ladies are complete, so they kind of know each other, although they're trying to play it like, okay, Tiana, which is aka Tony Lawani, Tony Lawani, aka Tiana, was the one that invited Miriam to this event. She brought her as her plus one, like I said earlier. But she is part of the ladies, so now they are complete. But because each of the six ladies came in with their plus one, except Miriam, which came in as someone else's plus one. So the 5 ladies came in with their plus one, being Laura, Caroline, Choma. Choma is the one hosting. Okay, and Iyabo was not there, okay, because Iyabo had said that she was traveling, she was going to London, and then from London she was going to Turkey, France, Paris. I don't know, she was just traveling around the world. But yeah, she had to show her daughter stuff about business and all of that, so she was not present. Miriam Sanko, you're welcome, Miriam, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you so much. How are you doing today? Okay. All right. So when they started this whole never have I ever game, it was even before they started asking the questions, Miriam said, me, I've done everything. She was drinking already, she was already drinking, taking the shots. And then shockingly, Caroline also said something like that I've done everything. But remember, Caroline was someone when Chama said they were going to play this game, Caroline, they showed her in a confessional, and Caroline said that she doesn't understand. Like, everybody knows this never have I ever game. You could go in deep. People could ask you certain questions, and you have to drink if you've done it and things like that. Or so she was kind of wanting to hold back, not wanting to. Thank you very much for that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you. So yeah. So when she said she had done this, I was now thinking, come on, what are you saying, babes? Like, come on, are you in? Are you not in? You've been kind of quiet. Even when they were dancing around the chair, they showed her just sitting. So I felt like she was kind of cold. For me, I feel like because Choma and Caroline are very close, they are both very close as friends. But then I was expecting her to be really into the thing because it was her friend that was hosting this time around. If it was Laura that was hosting and she was acting this way, I understand, because already there's bad blood between Laura and Caroline because of Laura's elder sister, Linda Ikeji, the blogger, as we all know. So I felt like it was kind of weird that Caroline was really holding back when her best friend in the group was hosting. But anyways, when they started, someone said, never have I ever done threesome. Straight ahead, Miriam was drinking. Who other person? I think it's two ladies. I think Caroline, someone else also drank. And then the next question that was someone said, never have I ever kissed a girl. Miriam was drinking. And then when she drank, when Miriam drank for the first question, when they said the threesome, she now said, disclaimer, hold on. Now remember, Miriam is married, and I think Miriam is married to a Caucasian, I think so, and she has a daughter. Yes, Miriam is married to a Caucasian. I don't know what country he's from, but yeah, she's married to a white guy and all that. So she said it was before before I got married and all of that. Like, she just wanted it to be out there so people don't think maybe she and her husband is doing threesome and stuff like that. And I really thought that was smart for her to really clear that before the blogs will start carrying the story that this lady and something, and that might be a problem. But I believe, well, all of them, those of them that are married, or even Choma, okay, Choma is not married, but yeah, those of them that are married, and Choma, that she has parents and siblings. So I believe these are, if you're doing shows like this, you might have talked to, or spoken to your family members and all of that, letting them know that there'll be a lot of drama, or they will hear certain things that they don't know about you, or stuff like that. It's all part of the show. So yeah, it was fun because I felt like if Miriam was not that forward drinking everything they asked, it would have kind of been boring, because most of the ladies I felt like were really holding back, even though they might have done these things or even done more than this. If they've done all the whole 50 shades of gray, they will not want to say it because they know that this will air and their family members, friends, and the internet never forgets and all of that. But when you sign up for a reality TV show, you have to be prepared to give it to them hot, because that's what the viewers are expecting, and that's what's going to lift your ratings. Okay, so she drank when they asked for threesome. Miriam drank. They asked if you never ever have I kissed a girl. She drank, so she's done it. And then the next was never have I fallen. This one was from Laura. Laura was one that asked this question. Laura said, never ever have I fallen asleep during sex. And then they started laughing. She said she has done it. That Miriam also drank, said she has done it. Somebody else, I think Tiana, yes. Tiana, and I was surprised that Tiana could even ask, say, drink like that has happened to me too. But Miriam said hers, she was, I think, coming back from the club or something. She was, it was a night out, and she's been drinking, so she was kind of drunk, so she was passed out. And she gave an example of, this, and they said they need it, they want it, and all of that. So sometimes you just have to just open the legs and just be there. So she passed out anyways. That's how she explained it. Then Tiana said it happened to her, and she said her own is even worse because she was the one hassling her husband to, like, she wanted to do. And then when the action started, she fell asleep, and he was very pissed off for some days, like a few days afterward. He was very upset that that happened. And I felt like that was really, really, really funny. Honey said, where can we watch this? Okay, the show. This Real Housewives of Lagos is only on um, Showmax right now. Maybe when they finish all the season, their first season and episode and all of that, maybe they'll make it available for other people. But if you want to, you have to download the app. According to how they explained it, you have to download the Showmax app and subscribe to it. I guess maybe it's some similar to like Netflix also, that you can do your subscription and then you watch. So that's what you need to do if you want to watch the show. Yeah, you download it and then you pay for it, and then you can watch. Okay, because now it's still season 1, episode 5. This Friday they did the episode 5, so I think they still have more episodes, so you still can catch up, you still can download the app and get into it if you want to. Okay, so up next, like I said before, I know some of you were watching the replay, so I'm looking to the side because I jot down everything. I want to explain everything so good so everyone is into this, enjoying this program, because I know so many people do not have, like I even said it in the beginning, many people don't know how to go about it, how to get Showmax. So yeah, so I jot down everything and I'm explaining it as good, or in my best knowledge, how I can explain it to you. Okay, so if you're watching, you can also leave me a comment below if you want me to. Okay, say host, I'm here, but busy a bit. Thank you so much. Thank you. I understand, sis. This is weekend, this Sunday, with kind of a whole lot of things that we're not able to do during the week. We have to catch up. I understand totally. I understand. Thank you so very much. Okay, so let's keep going. Remember, I said I hope you all grab your popcorn and all of that, because this is juicy and we're going to analyze everything, and it's going to take a little bit of time. Let me take a sip. Okay. All right. So after Tiana explained that she fell asleep and her hubby was kind of upset and so on and so forth, let's see what was next. Okay. All right. So they started talking and laughing, and some, like, I just know that Tiana is really kind of really funny. Her hand is always busy. She's this kind of lady that her hand is always busy. Like, the way she was just grabbing her friend and tapping her every part of her body, nowhere, including the private parts and everything. I really understand. I understand more. You remember when Tiana was saying that Miriam, when she was trying to talk about Miriam, she was like, Miriam is exactly like her, and that if anybody that do not like Miriam, then the person does have a problem, because she and Miriam, they are very simple, easygoing people, and so on and so forth. So I really saw how they played there. Like, they were hands on playing, and Miriam was always jumping, opening her leg, doing this, doing that. Like, Miriam is the vibe. Like, Miriam is that friend you want to have, that when you're kind of down, you're feeling down, that friend that would just tell you, what are you doing? Like, just lift you up and do things that will make you laugh. She's just so funny and full of life and happy going, and all around she's a vibe. That's the sixth lady. She's a vibe. So I really do understand why they waited till now to bring her in, because her energy is something else. Her energy is up there. So they really, really needed to, like, see how the other ladies will be acting, and then bring in another hothead, which, Laura is the one bringing the whole fight and whole saga in the this thing. But now that this lady is here, don't be surprised that she is going to get in with someone pretty soon, because her mouth, Miriam's mouth, is something else, I'm telling you. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so yeah, they started or also played this truth or dare, and then in truth or dare game, that was where the saga started because questions were flying, and then when it got to Tiana's turn to ask truth or dare, she asked Caroline what made her and her husband to divorce. And man, you could have heard a pin drop. Caroline's face just changed. And Caroline said that she doesn't want to talk about it, that that's just it. And then Tiana said, yeah, I know that you don't want to talk about it, but I've heard the story or something like, but since you don't want to talk about it, we'll just leave it at that and all of that. But I still have to ask you another question. Then they showed Caroline in her confessional, and Caroline said, if anybody is going to ask such question, it shouldn't even be Tiana, because Tiana has 3 children, I think, for 3 different men. So if she wants to talk about anything, let her start by talking about her baby daddies first before asking her, Caroline, about what happened, and that she is divorced, but that her ex-husband is a good dad to her kids, and he's doing a good job, fantastic job, taking care of his children and all of that, and that she respects him for that, and she will never speak ill or anything or say anything about him or about their marriage or anything, because he is still the father of her children. And I felt like that was wise. That's a smart one. She said at some point in her life, she might want to tell her story, but she wants to do it when she is comfortable, when she decides, not when people are pushing her, all of that, because the internet never forgets. So she's taking her time to really know if this is something that she wants to do, or she should just let it go, and not talk about it. So I felt like that was kind of somehow also, though they were playing truth or dare game. And I know that people are always fond of saying when you play truth or dare, nothing is off limits, like everything you can be talked about. So, but some people don't agree with that. They feel like just ask normal questions, or even if it's abnormal, let it be like personal person, like about the person, not like a second or third party or anything that will connect someone else, because those other persons are not in this game with you together, and they might not have signed up for you to talk about them, for you to have their name in your mouth when they are not there. So it does make sense. I felt like that was really deep, asking about her marriage. That's something that hurts. So, but I feel I do get it, because if you remember, like I said, if you've not watched, go and watch the playlist. I have them in a playlist, so you can watch from episode 1, so you understand episode 5. In episode 4, when they went to the airport, because when Choma invited them, the day they were supposed to travel to Abuja, they were going with a private jet. And when they got to the airport, Laura and Tiana arrived earlier, and they waited for Choma and Caroline for 4 hours before they arrived. And immediately arrived, Caroline said, hello, hello, ladies. And Tiana just lost it. I was like, what is this? The last event, you were late. Now again, the same thing. You people kept us here for 4 hours and all of that. And then Caroline picked offense. And Caroline was like, you cannot talk to me like that. I'm not your child. I came in here saying hello. You didn't even bother to answer my greeting. You didn't respond to my greeting, but you had the guts to question me. Do you know what happened to me? Do you know if I was sick or whatever? And Tiana was like, how would I know if you don't call to say that you were sick or anything? And Tiana was like, she's just looking for who's going to pamper her, and I'm not in for that, because it seems like Caroline is fond of this. She always arrives late to events and so on and so forth, and keeping us here for 4 hours was just not it at all. So already they had that bad blood, and they didn't settle that before they hopped on the private jet and went to Abuja. And now they're in Abuja playing games. So I felt like Tiana was just using every opportunity to shoot her shot at Caroline, maybe to start up something so they can actually just butt head or fight over something, and then at the end of the day also trash out the bad blood that they have. But you could see it was obvious that Tiana was just trying to get on the neck of um, Caroline, and I think Caroline could sense that. So after that, she did throw another questions, and they just started throwing questions. Then the next person that went in was Miriam. I told you people. Miriam Tima came in with fire and everything, lightning, brimstone, name it. Okay. When she now asked Laura, truth or them, and Laura was like, and then they all started laughing. It was like she's meditating. And then Carla was like, she's trying to think what she's going to do. So she chose truth. Miriam now asked her, why did she do the nose surgery? Now, that's something that's been on the blogs, but although some people do not know about it, but I think Laura has not been as secretive as some of the Nigerian celebrities that they do something to their bodies or their face or something, but generally the body could be your face, your anywhere in the body. They do these surgeries, and I think it's worldwide. Some people are just not proud of saying work that they've done on themselves. They want you to think that it is natural, it is God given. Okay. Okay, so Honest Kitchen said, I'm here. I'm just busy at an event and I'm in the background. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I understand. I totally understand. This is weekend. We have a whole lot to do. So thank you so very much. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you. Okay, so a lot of celebrities don't want to say the work they've had done, even though you could see their old photos and some of them like they had small butts, but now their butts are so massive and you're thinking, what the heck happened to you? We know that when you grow as a child and as you're growing, your body's changing and all of that. But come on, we've seen you in movies or we've seen you in TV, seen you on TV, seen you people on the screen for many years, and you looked a certain type of way. Overnight, your boobs, your butt, and everything grew so massive, and you had this figure eight all over, like, come on, just say something. But they will never say. Every time they ask them in an interview, they will always say it's natural, it's natural. So I saw where Miriam was coming from with that one. So Miriam asked Laura, and Laura was like, they showed Laura in her confession, and Laura was like, yeah, this question she's asking me has been on the blogs, like a lot of people know. But then she was like, I've always wanted a nose bridge, but I do not have, So the only thing I could do was work on it, trying to fix it. So yeah, that's something I always wanted, but I didn't have it. There was no other way I could go about it because that was how, my nose, God created me, and my nose was just like that. I didn't have bridge, I didn't have anything. So that's why I worked on it. And then they showed Caroline in her confession, and Caroline was like, some of the questions, I think Caroline also felt like that was kind of not necessary, uh, things like that. But yeah, but she was like, Laura, she loved the way Laura was open to answer the question and all of that. And Caroline wanted to say something. Laura was like, don't say anything, Caroline. Don't even say anything because you have a pointed nose. So don't even say anything. And they all laughed about it and all of that. And I felt like that was cool because they were able to just, communicate, even though they were not kind of close, they're not feeling each other, but they were able to be in the same place and be responsible and not like ignore each other totally. So I felt that was really cool. They didn't ruin the event for Choma. Okay, so let's keep going. What next? What next? What next? What next? Okay, ask about the marriage, ask Laura about the fishes. Yeah. And Laura also said she's going to do more because she's not satisfied yet. She has not reached where she want to go with that, so she's going to do more. Okay, so I think that was really cool, and I love the fact that Laura is really open with these things. So I hope other ladies, the only person in Nigeria that I know that really spoke up even before she did her surgery. My chair is making a lot of noise. I apologize for that. Before she did her surgery was Tonto Dike. She's also an Hollywood actress. She was someone that was open that she was going to get work done, and it was filmed. They had the camera following her throughout the process and all of that. But the rest of them, no, they don't want to talk about it. They don't even want to accept it, even though it is obvious that they've had work done. So big ups, kudos to you, Laura. You did good answering that question. That was classy. That was cool. I like that. Okay, so let's proceed. What next? Okay, the next question was from Miriam to Choma's friend, and she said, Choma's friend's name is OG. I'm guessing it's Ogom. Okay, so I'm thinking she's from the east or like eastern part of Nigeria, like Choma, because Choma, the name alone, if you know anything about Nigerians, you know that Choma. When you hear Choma, it's eastern name. She's an Igbo lady. So the other one is OG, either Ogom or Gochuku or something. Her name is, but they just wrote OG on screen. So she asked Choma's friend and said, why is it that people think that you are a bitch? Hi, bitches. And immediately Caroline's face just changed. And they showed Caroline in her confession. And she was like, what the heck is going on with Miriam? Miriam is just throwing this bitch thing. Like, what is going on? She could have used any other word. She could have used words like, why is it that people see you or people perceive you as someone that is unfriendly? You're kind of so many other words that she could use, but she just loved using this bitch. Like, what is it with it? Like, what is it? And she started saying it, pitches, like, like, yeah, we can't say that so much. So we say pitches, okay, on YouTube, because you can't say such on YouTube, all those kind of words so much on YouTube. Like I've said, don't forget to subscribe, okay? Let's get this channel to 1,000, okay? You're watching, okay? The last one we have 300 and something views. And if all the 300 of you subscribe, we would have reached 1K. So let's get the channel to the permanent site. Subscribe as you watch this, as we enjoy this together, so we can dissect more together, okay? Let's continue. So when she asked her that, Choma's friend, I really held it down, and I think that was cool because I was thinking again when I heard that word. The question was not a bad one, but that particular word she added, that bitch was just too much. And some people don't really like hearing that at all, and they don't like it when you associate that word with them. So I thought she was going to flare up because of that word, but she really kept it cool. And she was like, maybe I am sometimes. And she was like, but you have to own it. If you are at all times. It's either you're a bitch or you're not a bitch. You cannot sometimes. And Miriam was just going on and on and on. And I was thinking, where's this coming from? You don't know the lady. Like, why you just on her neck? Are you trying to, start up something with her, or you want to start up something with a host, Choma, or something? I was like, what's going on? The lady said she's cool, and then out of nowhere comes Tiana. Tiana asked, after OG said that sometimes she's a bitch, and some other times she's not, but that she's. And then Miriam asked her, so how would you describe yourself? And she said, I'm a cool and calm person, and all of that. And then they showed Choma in her confessional, and Choma was like, I don't really understand why Miriam is asking OG this type of questions, but OG is someone that is always cool, quiet, and she takes her time to warm up to people. And if she doesn't know you, she won't just warm, like just be all over you and all of that. She takes her time to study people and all of that before she can open up. So she's cool, like this is who she is. She's not faking it or anything. So then they went back to Tiana, and Tiana was like, so you're saying all the time you're like this. If that's the case, it's kind of fake. And I felt like it was Tiana was just there to start up something, because the kind of shots that Tiana was just firing, like at every time, shots fired, and I was like, come on, what is going on with you? Tiana, she was the one trying to settle people's beef and all of that, but on this episode 5, it seemed like Tiana was trying so hard to start up something, but the ladies were not just taking the bait. She really baited Caroline so much. Caroline was just not having it. Like, she wasn't going to go there with her. And now it's OG, which is the host, Choma's friend. And I was like, come on, what's going on? Calling her fake was not cool, but she was just still cool, calm. And she just explained to them that that's who she is. She's always quiet. And she was like, if you're saying I'm fake, then that means I've been fake all my life, because I've always been like this, right? From when I was little growing up, I've always been this kind of person. So you're saying I'm fake. And the game just went on, and they were just truth to dare each other, and so on and so forth. So let's see what was next. Okay, so a lot of people saying, okay. Okay, so after that, Miriam again, now dead Choma, like, I dare you to kiss my ass. And then I was thinking Choma was just going to laugh it off, or just not even pay attention, just drink up or do something else. But Choma stood up and went and kissed Miriam's ass, and then they all laughed, and then Spencer started grabbing her, Tiana. That's when Tiana started grabbing. She was just grabbing her all parts, grabbing, like grabbing Miriam from all corners. Miriam too was laying down on the couch with her legs spread, not to east, be west to south, and all of that. So it was really funny. And the ladies were all laughing. So I felt like that was really cool. That was thoughtful of Choma to start these kind of games that really brought all of them. Like they started smiling and they started just having fun, drinking, and so on. Like pop the champagne. This one said bring tequila. This one said no, I'm not having tequila. No way. I'm not gonna. Miriam was like, I'm not gonna have tequila. Open the champagne. Open the champagne. And all of that. So that was really fun. And Choma was like, this is what I wanted, like from the beginning, the girls, everybody was just on their phone, cool, quiet, as if someone died, as if they were in a funeral. But after they started all these games, they all warmed up to each other. They started laughing and they started talking and just having fun. So the night was fun. It was cool. Choma did a good job. Choma did a good job. Choma is a good host. From what I saw, Choma is a good host. Not as if the other ladies are not good hosts. They're all good hosts, but Choma really, I feel like Choma puts in a lot of thought into everything she's doing, and she tries to give it her best, and just make sure everybody's okay, everybody's having fun. And like she said she's always the life of the party. She loves going out. She's a kind of party. And Laura had also hinted that. So it didn't come as a surprise. And she's also into event stuff and stuffs like that, planning events for people and doing so on and so forth. So I feel like, okay, you're really doing good. People can trust you with this kind of stuffs. You will deliver if you're paid to do so. So that was cool. Big ups to you, Choma. You did a good job. Okay. All right. So, all right. What was next? Okay. After she dared her to kiss her ass. And she did. Okay, Tiana. Okay, so after that was the next day, right? That was slumber party, and then they all slept, woke up the next day. They showed Tiana, which is Tony Lawani, and Miriam by the pool side. And at the same time, they showed Choma in her room calling Caroline on video call. And she said to her, I'm about to just fix up my coffee. And they showed her in her room. She was like, they showed her box, scattered her clothes, her perfume, different perfumes and things scattered around, all expensive stuff. So Choma. Now, Choma is always delivering, looking hot and always set, good to go at all times. So Choma was moving around, like picking up things, like trying to sort some things out, and at the same time making a cup of coffee for herself. So, but she was on the phone calling Caroline. Caroline was still laying down in bed. I guess your sister was like, "You don't sleep. You're awake this early morning. What's going on? What's going on?" And then she said, "They ladies are so funny." And she said, "I'm about to take my coffee, and after I finish my coffee, I'm coming straight to your room." Okay. So after that, they showed the pool side where Tiana and Miriam were sitting. And so Miriam was just talking, like, explaining to her how she felt, at the events and all of that. And she was like, they're about to go out. And Tiana was like, yeah, they're about to go out, but I am not coming. What is this? It's kind of, oops. Okay, the sun is coming, so I'm trying to adjust a bit. Okay, so she said, we're going out, but I'm not coming with you people. On this one, you have to go with the ladies. And she's like, why? She's like, no. I drank a lot and I'm just not feeling myself, so I'm not coming. You have to go with the ladies, but represent me very well when you go out there. And I trust you. If anything, you can handle yourself and all of that. I just feel like, was this conversation really necessary? You should have just asked her how she felt about the ladies, if you feel like that's something you wanted to do. Take a sip of my wine. Okay, if you feel like that's something you wanted to do, you should have just asked her how she felt about the ladies. Does she like them? Does she feel like they welcomed her well? But when we did represent me well, if anything, I know you can handle, and so on. And it's for her to meet the ladies and know the ladies and so on and so forth. So it's no big deal. But she said she wasn't coming. She wasn't going because she's just too tired and drunk and like drunk or hangovers, so on and so forth. So then they showed Miriam. Choma finished her coffee in her room and went to Miriam's door, and she was knocking. It was like, "Who's that?" And they were just making jokes. And she opened up, and they both jumped on the bed, and she was like, "What are we having?" She was like, "I ordered salad." Choma was like, "No, no, no! I am not going to eat salad." And so on and so forth. And then she was asking her about the party last night, how she felt, but she was like, she felt like some of the questions were just not necessary. She, like the questions they asked and some of the things they were just saying were not just necessary. And Choma also asked her how she felt about the question that Tiana asked her. And then she said that that's something that she doesn't want to talk about, and she feel like Tiana is not in a place to ask her such question because she's not comfortable to talk about that actually, and that she respects the man. She actually first referred to him as her husband, if and I felt like, oh, like ouch, so whatever happened, I feel like it's something that is really still fresh in the hearts of Caroline. you know Whatever ended her marriage with her husband, I feel like it's still fresh in her mind and all of that. So she's still very hurt by it. So she was like, she doesn't know, but in the future she might want to talk about it. But right now, that's not just something she wants to talk about, and it is none of Tiana's business, and Tiana had no right bringing that up. But then Choma said, well, it was a game, so I cannot understand why they were just going with all this kind of, because when you play such kind of games, never have I ever, truth to dare, all those kind of things, you just know that things like this are bound to happen. And she was like, well, it's okay. Like it was cool, it was fun, and so on and so forth. And after that conversation, okay, so let's see. Yeah, and then they showed back the poolside where Miriam started telling um, Tiana that when she came into the room, she felt like, she was hugging some people, shaking some people, and just going in line. And she felt like the only person that acted kind of strange, weird, and uh, she kind of gave her this vibe as if she had the virus, corona or something. The way she shook her hand was Caroline. Caroline, she was like, "Give me your hand, give me your hand." And she just kind of tapped me, and that was it, and so on. So like, I don't really get it. I don't know why she's kind of like that. I don't know if she's always like that, or she just wanted to just kind of mm, not be too nice to me and all of that. And I felt like that was also not necessary. That was not something she should have even told Tiana, because already Tiana is picking on Caroline. So telling her something like this will only make her want to pick on Caroline even more. And it might get to a point where Caroline might not be able to handle it anymore, and both of them would just, they would just fall out. That's how I feel. So there was no reason for her to even. But of course, that's what the show is about. If there's no fight, if there's no saga, what is it we're going to sit here talking about, and what is it that people are going to sit and want to watch? You get. So yeah, all the fights, the drama, and everything helps the rating and everything of the show to go up. So this is something that we are expecting from the show. So yeah, okay. So let's see. After that conversation, okay. Blue side, Chairman Caro. Okay. 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 So after that was Choma leaving from Caroline's room and going to none other than Laura's room. Like when they showed Laura, I wasn't thinking that she was coming to Laura's room. Like, because if you remember from episode 1, when Choma said, when they went to Tiana's event, when Tiana was trying to introduce all the ladies, like, do you know this person, and meet this person, and all of that, and it got to Choma and Laura, and Tiana said to Laura, "Don't you know Choma or something?" And she was like, "Of course I know Choma. We are friends." And Choma said, "Yeah, of course I know Laura. She is a good hair client." Whoo! Laura was not having it. Laura felt so embarrassed. So Laura felt like Choma was lying. They know each other. They've even hung out together. They've so many things that she was saying, like, why is Choma just lying? Is Choma trying to be what she is not? And if you notice from that episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, every time Laura will always hint that some people are forming what they are not. Some people are, yeah, all of that. So I believe she's those things that she's saying, she's referring to Choma. Now Choma is not being sincere. Choma is not being straightforward. If Choma could lie about something like both of them are not friends. But sometimes you could be seeing someone as your friend, but the person in return is not seeing you as a friend. That's something you have to take into consideration also. Okay, so when they showed Laura in her room, she was wearing this blonde wig, like 613. If you know something, or if you've noticed anything about, or if you have not, if you're not watching, let me explain. If you're maybe you're also not following them on Instagram, because if you're following all the ladies on Instagram, then you're kind of conversant and used to how they dress and stuff like that. Laura loves blonde wigs. She loves blonde wig and a bit of brown in some of them, and just mix blonde and brown. So you will always see Laura wearing blonde, 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 a whole lot of blonde wig, even on her Instagram. And she did the same on the show. She wore a lot of blonde wigs. So she was wearing a blonde wig and trying to brush it in the mirror. Um, she was in her I think in her toilet or in the room, like she was just brushing and trying to fix her hair properly. And then the doorbell rang, and she's like, who's that? It was Choma. She opened up and you're like, hey, how ladies that are friends, ladies that know each other, the way they greet each other and all of that, that was how they greeted each other. And I was like, what did I miss? What? Showmax, tell me, what did I miss? Did you people cut out something from the show that, like, what's going on? When did it when although they had said they can be cordial after they had that fight at Caroline's event, which they both cussed each other out. They said they could be in the same place and be cordial, but they are not friends, they are not fond of each other, and so on and so forth. So I was just expecting them to just be, kind of playing to each other, like, hi, okay, you're the host, and so on and so forth. Um, but then Laura is somebody that loves fun. So I wasn't even thinking that when Choma will invite her to this Abuja trip that she was going to say no. I wasn't even thinking that at all. Like, that didn't even cross my mind for a second. That did not cross my mind for a second. So when she came in and they were like, hey girl, how are you doing? What are you up to with this place? I was a nine, then like good, like yo, man. Like, I was like, what's going on? This is Laura, this is Choma. If it's Tiana and Laura, I will understand, or Yabo or something. But come on, what is going on? This is like Laura and Choma. They don't like each other. They don't see eye to eye, in the show. So I felt like this was good because Choma did a fantastic job hosting, and she was so nice to everybody. She was trying to just hold it down, be cool, even with people that she was beefing with, people that were beefing her, everything. She just was cool. You could see that Caroline is her girl, always her girl, will always be her girl, but she was kind of very nice to everybody and tried to make everyone feel good. That's why I'm telling you that she is a good host. I'm telling you. Kudos to you, Choma, once more. Okay, so then she went to the bathroom. Choma, Laura was still brushing her hair. She was like, "How was your night? How did you feel yesterday? Do you enjoy yourself?" She was like, "Of course I did. It was fun. It was nice. What's up? I trust you, girl." She was even calling her girl, although I know that Laura uses that word a lot, like girl, when she's talking to someone, girl, stuff like that. And she was like, girl, come on, what's going on? I trust you. I know you're a good host. What are you planning? And in fact, I don't even trust you. I don't even trust you because I know the kind of things you can do. And all that. She was like, yeah, we're going to have a dinner, and then we're going to go for a kind of a race, and we're going to go for dinner. And all that. Like, I have things planned out. Don't worry. Just everybody get ready, and we're going to go out. And she's like, yes, of course, I'm game, I'm ready, whatever. And then she left her room, and I felt like that was cool. And Laura went back to brushing her hair, trying to fix her hair and all of that. They were both looking great, all the ladies looking fantastic. They delivered. Okay, their dressing, their wigs, the kind of everything was good. Their makeup artist was good, everything. Okay. So then Choma left the room. Okay. Yeah, and I okay, yeah. All right. The next thing was the girl stepping out. Like those of you that were watching the replay, I'm looking to the side because I have my notes. I have to deliver. I have to give it to you so I don't miss nothing. Like I don't want you to miss anything. I'm going step by step. As I'm watching it, I am jotting down. After this happened, that happened. So you will follow along. Everything I'm explaining to you right now, it's almost like you're also watching the show if you're not subscribed to Showmax. Okay, so that's why I'm looking to my side to see my notes, what happened next. Okay, so what the next was the lady stepping out after Choma and Laura had a conversation in Laura's room. They were all now stepping out. Now remember that was what Tony was talking to Miriam about, and she said she was not coming out, that they were going out, but she was not going. All right. So the girls were stepping out, but Tony didn't go. And for some reasons, Tony did not tell Choma that she wasn't going to go because they showed Choma in a conversation. She was like, up till now, Tony is not here. And Tony has not told me why she's not coming out. I don't know, but her daughter is here and all of that. So they stepped out and they went for they were going for a car race. You know, these small, I don't know what they call those small car speed car race and stuff like that. I don't know if you know the name, leave it in the comment section. Okay, so they were going to car race so they could have like competition, compete with each other and just have fun, you know. So Tiana's daughter was all dressed up, looking like all these professional car, all these professional racers, all these people that do car racing and all of that. They all got ready. Talking so much, my throat is dry. Oh, now let me tell you something. This wine is good. Kind of pink. It is good. I didn't want to bring the bottle to show you people, but it was a good wine because of YouTube and alcohol and certain things that. So, but next time I'll show you what I'm drinking. If you're interested, leave it in the comment section. Okay. So that being said, so they stepped out and they went for the car race and they were all racing. Then Laura crashed somewhere and then Tiana's daughter passed and Tiana's daughter won. She was the first. Then I think Miriam was the second and all the other ladies followed and were like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They were hailing her. They were like, of course. And Miriam was like, yeah, I trust you. Like mom, like daughter, I know you're going to win. She's my daughter too. Anyway, that was what Miriam said because Miriam is very close to Tony. That's Tiana. And both of them are Tiana. Like Tiana named her daughter after herself. And you remember her brand, her company and everything is also called Tiana's Empire. So Tiana is her name, her daughter's name. I think her native name is Tony Lawani, but Tiana is her daughter's name. So people also call her Tiana. So yeah, so daughter one, Miriam was like, yeah, that's my daughter too. I knew you can, and all of that. She was just hailing her, and that was that. Okay, so let's go. We finished analyzing one part. Let me flip over. All right. So after the race, all of that, they came back to the hotel and got ready for the dinner. Oh my goodness! You see me rubbing my hands and looking at my and listen notes. Let me tell you something. The ladies were looking takeaway. They were looking so good. Majority of the ladies, they showed Choma. Choma wore this black, it looked like a velvet long dress with a slit, a very bad slit, like a wicked slit. There are slits and there are some slits that are bad, and there are some slits in your clothes that are wicked. Choma had a wicked slit up until her hip bone. Do you get that? Like here, her waist. That's where the slits came from the floor up until her waist, where everything was out. Like, name it, it was out. Like she was looking so good. And on the chest part, I told you I'm going to give you every single detail so you feel like you are watching Showmax. Okay. All right, but don't forget to subscribe. On the chest, they had these blinks, silver blinks spread like a like a star kind of, they start from the same area and they just spread out as they go upward. Beautifully made dress. The dress is awesome. Okay. Look, if you people want me to show what the ladies are wearing, because most of them they post it on their Instagram, I can also do that as a shorts so you people can watch that. If you want to see it, comment down below so I can put it there. I can also put shorts of what the ladies of the shows are wearing. So when I describe the clothes, you really know that it is top notch, like what you will understand. But then on her hair she had, if you notice, Choma had like a ponytail, a very long ponytail hairstyle, and then she put a silver hair jewelry on, and I felt like that was just fantastic. Choma looked good from the beginning of this show. Choma has been serving it hot, hot for us. Like Choma has been delivering. Choma always looks good. Every time she steps, all the ladies look good, anyways. Okay, so then walked in the other ladies. Majority of them, Tiana, they wore black. And then I think two people, I think maybe Laura and someone else was wearing like a gold shaking stuff. And also their plus ones, they all dressed so good. The only person that was kind of odd, or the two persons that were odd and they came late, was Caroline and her plus one. Caroline wore a kind of it was kind of orange, red. I'm thinking that dress is it's orange, but maybe the lighting and everything, it looks like a reddish orange. Hello, hello, Oyoyo's World. Thank you so very much for joining. Thank you so much. How are you doing today? How are you? So Caroline wore kind of orange, reddish dress. Oh, on my way to church. Oh, really? Here it's evening already. Okay. Thank you. I totally understand because it's a weekend and church, cooking, and a lot of other things that we could not do during the week. We have to fit them all in from Friday to Sunday. Thank you so very much for stopping by. Sister, I can hear you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So then she wore like an orange dress. That's Caroline. And it was all flowing and kind of is it silk or something? Kind of very nice flowing dress. And she came in and then they showed her in her confessional and she said, "Oh wow, all the ladies are wearing black. I'm glad I'm not wearing black. I'm the only one that is different." And I felt like, come on, what are you talking about? It would have even been nicer because Caroline is someone else that delivers in what she wears. Caroline gives it to us like, oh man, what are you talking about? Like Caroline always dresses so good. She wears very beautiful dresses. If she's wearing two-piece, it looks good. So I was really waiting to see Caroline on her black gown, and it would have really, really been fantastic. But she decided to wear orange. It was okay, but I felt like that kind of made them look kind of odd on the table. I love the vibe that the table had before both of them came in. Like I said, she came in late with her plus one, and then Caroline's plus one. Madam, wetin happen? Ha! Take am easy, gone. Waiting, care. I be waiting, me, waiting, biko. Caroline's plus one, I just did not like what she wore. Like, that wasn't doing. Now, trust me, the whole African fabric, the fabric was beautiful. I loved the whole style. But then the scarf, the way she tied her head like all these angry village market women that are going to fight somebody. You know how they used to just tie their gele, and the gele is just so disorganized. You get. So when I saw that, I was just like, what is going on? Like what is this undefined? And now we have some professionals that when they tie your gele, now gele is the head scarf that most Africans, the head girl, this big head girl, stylishly that Africans use. So I didn't understand why this lady did not pay somebody to just tie, and now they've already made some that these professionals, they will tie it on their head or tie it on somebody that works for them, or they have like a doll that will put it and make tie the scarf, and afterward they will now sew it so you can remove it, put it in your box. If you're traveling, travel with it. When you're ready, you just pick it up and put it back on. Before, when many years ago, you have to go to people to prepare. If you're going for, let's say, a wedding or an event or church or something, you have to go for them to tie it for you the night before, a week before, something like that. And you carefully bring it home so you don't mess it up, because they used to hold it down with pins and all that. They still use pins, but now they have a way of putting threads also and holding it in place. And some of them, they even put it in the sewing machine and they sew it, and it's just there. It's like a hat, the way you can just wear your hat and take off your hat or your face cap. And the same way they have these caps. So I was expecting this lady to, if you wanted to dress that traditional African dress, Naija, delivering Yoruba thing, or whatever, you should have just taken your time to wear a beautiful design, because the fabric, I really love the fabric she wore, but the style was not it for me. Like, she looked like a village market woman. Sorry, lady. Next time, do better. Okay, so then they all sat down, and then okay, let me see what else. And then they were just talking, uh before they bring the dinner. They all looked so good, and then they decided to talk about um each other. They, okay, let me see. Okay, kind of, okay, on the dinner, they started talking about each other after everybody sat down and they greeted each other. They started just asking questions like, "What was your first impression about me?" What, so on and so forth. Although some persons are saying, "Why are they doing first impressions now? They've known each other already. Some of them are already friends. Some of them are acquaintances. They are like in entertainment business together, and so on and so forth. So why are they even doing this?" Of course, they have to, because maybe they've not done it. They've not asked each other how, like, what did you, when you first met me, what did you think, or what was your perception, what did you think, so I felt like this was right for them to just discuss it on the table while they wait for their food to be served. And Choma was just a fantastic host. Let me just say that once more. Choma did a fantastic job hosting the ladies. Choma tried. I really loved how she set up everything. It was fantastic. It was great. Okay, so they started talking about each other. And then Laura went for Tiana. And of course, I wasn't expecting her to go for anyone else, because she and most of the ladies are not good. So she talked about how she felt about Tiana. She thought Tiana would be a kind of standoffish kind of person, but Tiana is a very nice, fun, loving person, easygoing, and you can easily vibe with her. She's a vibe, and so on and so forth. And then Tiana also talked about Laura and said, yeah, she was thinking Laura is going to be kind of bored. Laura is very family oriented. Everything, she puts her family first. She loves her family. And that sometimes people misunderstand her, but she doesn't really mean bad when, she's doing these things. But if people take their time to understand, then you could see Caroline giving her the side eye, like, what are you insinuating? Like, Laura and this person, Laura and Caroline, they're not good because of Laura's sister that is a blogger, and allegedly what she blogged about, what she put in her blog about Caroline's marriage, and so on. And we analyze that. Watch the playlist, you will understand. Okay, so after she said that, and the ladies were just exchanging words, and the other ones that didn't know each other just kept quiet looking at them. Then the next person was Choma. Choma, who else would you just guess who Choma picked? I know you guessed it right. Choma picked yeah, tell me about it. Choma picked Caroline to talk about Caroline. She was like, when she first saw Caroline, she thought Caroline was this kind of a snob, and someone that think too much of herself, so on. But that, uh, but when you go close to her, you see that she's a very loving and sweet and soft and nice, and she had all these fantastic things to say. Choma just kept going, and Caroline was just blushing and blushing and blushing, like it was like, come on, so much praises. And then they showed Laura in her confessional. Laura was like, oh yeah, get a room, get a room. both of you go get a room, go get a room. Like, yeah, they always fond of each other and so on and so forth. Anyways, it's just like, go get a room, go get a room. And I felt like, yeah, she was feeling kind of jealous because someone didn't say so much about her. But Carol, Choma just kept praising Carol and how she felt like they both connected from the first day. They have so much in common and so forth. When it was Caroline's turn to talk, Caroline also showered praises on how she felt. She both of them, they connected, how from the first time Choma is so much like her. Choma goes for her goal. Choma likes good things. Choma's fashion sense is up there, and she just kept praising Choma. Choma was like, yeah, hype man, and all of that. And Laura was not having it at all. Laura was like, it's too much. Like, what is it? They just up on and on and on and on about each other. Please, you people, please, and all of that. But she wasn't saying it on the table there. Like, everybody just kept quiet because when it's your turn, you speak. So she was just praising her also. And if you notice, Caroline goes for this gold digging thing. So she kind of also hinted that Choma is that kind of person that goes for good things and loves good things and is pushing and working hard for what she wants and what she loves and all of that. And she loves her fashion sense and so on and so forth. So they just kept on showering each other with so much praises and love and all of that. And I felt that was cool. That was fantastic. That was great. Okay, moving on. Then they served their dinner. The waiter came in and started serving them, and it was time for them to eat, and so on and so forth. Okay, so up next was Miriam at the pool swimming. Oh my goodness, Miriam looked good. Miriam has this model figure, like Miriam is a model, like catch walking. Like, Miriam looked so good. She wore a one piece, like Mm, I'm telling you, like a Brazilian bot, like a Brazil. Oh my God! Like the bot was outside, like the swimsuit was just not covering everything. You know what I mean? So that was what she wore, and then she was swimming at the pool, and then she had already invited Laura, and Laura came. I really love what Laura wore when Laura came to the poolside to meet with Miriam. Oh my goodness, Laura wore like a white button down, long sleeve, and a white baggy trouser, the kind of transparent. You could see the fabric that is underneath. It was so nice. It was so beautiful. She looked so good. And the shirt was tucked into the trousers, all white. It was so beautiful. I really, really did love her outfit. She looked so good from head, like everything this lady said. So when Laura walked in, Miriam came out from the pool and sat down. I told you people about the hot swim bikini one piece that she was wearing. It looked good on her. And her body, she looks good. She looks good. She looks good. Tummy flat, everything there, boobs full, everything. Like, she's hot. Miriam is hot. She's hot. Okay. Um, so they sat down by the poolside, and she was like, okay, I just want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, and I want you to just tell me a little bit about the ladies, so I kind of know what to expect on because from now on she's going to be among the ladies. So she wanted someone to give her heads up. So she felt like Laura was in a good place to do that, because I kind of feel like from the moment she came in and she noticed that Laura has big energy, and she has big energy. So she has a big energy, and so she felt like she should talk to her. I feel like she kind of connect with her. So that was that on that. I got distracted. Okay, so when she asked, like, she needs hints, so then Laura started telling her about the ladies. She was like, oh yeah, I'm not vibing so much with most of the ladies. I had a fight with Choma, had a fight with Caroline. Choma started something, we cussed ourselves out, so on and so forth. Some of the ladies are pretending to be what they are not. Some ladies are just acting kind of strange, and so on and so forth. So she was just saying a whole lot. You prepare yourself. because it's going to be hot. There's going to be fights. There's going to be lots of things that people will say. Some people feel like they are too big. They have too many things. Some people are claiming what they are not. People feel like they are out up there and so on and so forth. And I was like, Laura, come on. She was just asking you about the lady. You could have just said a little bit about each of the ladies and tell her to just experience for herself and find out things. And she also went for that to say, Laura was like, I see that you have a big energy and you're really the vibe, like you're really there, like you're the life of the party, you're outspoken, you're the like you just have the vibe, and I feel like both of us were gonna have a clash. And Miriam was like, what? Me and you, I like you already. I love your energy. I see like we have so much in common, and I feel like we will vibe. And she said, yeah, I do. I feel so too. Like we have big energy. We have so much in common, but I don't know, but I feel like we might clash sometime in the future. And they said, okay, my apologies now. I'm apologizing for the future. And they both laughed and said they're apologizing if they will clash in the future. Let it be that they've already apologized prior to each other. And I thought that was funny. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay, all right, all right. So up next is Laura inviting all the ladies. Now, this was after Abuja, after they finished having fun and they've gone back to Lagos. And Laura was invited all the ladies. So she invited them out because she wants to officially invite them for her fashion show. Now remember, she has in episode 4, they showed Laura where she invited 2 of her friends. One is also into fashion, clothing, and things like that. So she wanted to do a collab with that friend of hers. Okay, so they talked about it, the clothing line, what she likes, and things like that. But then the other friend asked her if she wanted to do in episode 4, if she was going to do a fashion show. She said no, that she just wants to launch her own brand and have it out there, this edgy kind of style and things like that, so people can go for and shop from her website and so on and so forth. But she wants to first of all do a collaboration with this her friend that is also I think a fashion designer. She's into stuff like that. So she wants to do a collaboration with this her friend first before she will start working with others that she loves working with her friends or family people first before she take it out. So he said, okay, so now she Laura was looking so good. Laura loves wearing blazers. That's one thing. If you don't know Laura wears blazers a whole lot. She's wearing like a blazer and a micro mini skirt. If you remember, when she invited her friends, she was also wearing something similar, a micro mini. But this time she was wearing like a pink, like a hot pink, very nice, all hair all open, legs all out, everything looking good. She was looking good. So she sat down and she wanted to talk to the lady. So Miriam came, um, Yabo came. Remember, Yabo didn't go to Abuja because Yabo was not in the country. Yabo had traveled out of the country uh, when they went to Abuja. But by the time they came back to Lagos, she was back. So she was able to meet up to catch up to Laura's events. So got Laura's invitation. So she was there. And then Tiana was the last person that came. Tiana was kind of late. Also, Tiana was wearing that kind of braided wig, looking all good. The ladies were all dressed very nice. Miriam wore a kind of like this summer like spaghetti hands gown, just flowing kind of. Iyabo Joe wore a kind of yellow dress, looking all good. Tiana came in wearing either black or a multicolored kind of clothing. They were all looking good, hair done, well, nice. And I think Iyabo had worked on her teeth or something like that. She was looking so good and she was smiling. And the ladies were like, and she was like, you people you're not going to say anything about my smiles. You're not going to say anything about my smiles. And then Laura was like, I noticed it, but I didn't want to talk about it. I don't always like talking about things that people they've had done because some people don't like it. They don't like when people talk about these things. So I kind of wait. If you tell me something about it, then I can compliment or tell you what I think about it. But I noticed it, but I didn't want to say anything. And they're like, whoa, that looks good. And Laura was like, sometimes if I've not done anything, but sometime in the future I might do. All my friends they've done and I really love it, but I'm still thinking about that. And then Iyabona asked, where is Caroline and Choma? That was when Laura was like, I don't give an F I don't care because I know they're not going to come. And it's always like that. I know that Choma will never come. And if Choma is not coming, same with Caroline. Caroline will not come because Caroline is a follow. Now, when you hear the word follow, it's like someone that cannot decide. You're someone that you don't have a mind of your own. You cannot do anything without someone influencing what you do. You get. So when they said that, like, Caroline is always following whatever Choma does. So if Choma was not coming, Caroline was not going to come. And then Tony, that's who is Tiana. Tiana now said, yeah. Tiana was the one that said Choma. Laura said Choma. Laura said Caroline is always doing whatever Choma does. If Choma goes to the left, she will go. If Choma goes, then Tiana was the one that said, oh, she's a follow. Then they showed Iyabo Ojo in her confessional, and Iyabo Ojo said, Caroline is a follow. You know what the follow is? And she tried to explain what follow means. Okay. So I felt like, I thought you said they were your friends, and here you are gossiping them. And then she, grabbed herself back and looked and smiled, and then looked at Tiana and said to Tiana, what do you mean you said she's a follow? She said, well, Laura didn't know the words to use, so I just helped her. And I felt like she shot her shot, but now she was trying to kind of disassociate herself from what she just said. So in case there's a saga, there's a fight, whatever, let it be that it's Laura that is running her mouth. But Laura wasn't having it no, Laura was upset that they were not there, the both of them. And so Laura just kept yapping and yapping. She doesn't care. She's not going to invite them. Let them not come. She doesn't give an F. Let them go this, that, and so many things. And I felt like that was not necessary. Okay, because you're doing an event and you want your friends to be there. It doesn't matter if you're fighting with someone. Look how Choma hosted, and Choma was able to have you there and all of that. The same with Caroline. Caroline had her reservation toward you because of your sister or whatever, and you sided with your sister, but she was still able to invite you and be cordial with you until the fight broke out and all that. So whatever the case may be, you could still invite them and be cordial and just be normal, not be too friendly to them if you don't want to, but it is your event, so you should try your best to, be nice to them. So Choma, Laura was just running her mouth, and then Yabona said, she's going to call Choma and ask Choma what's up. So she called Choma and put the phone on speaker. So she called she called Choma on the phone, and then she asked Choma. Okay, she called Choma on the phone. That's Iyabo Joe calling Choma and said, hello, Choma, how are you? Choma was like, hey, how are you? And all of that. She's like, where are you? Are you coming for Laura's event? And she said, I'm still in Abuja. And I felt like that was weird that they started by running their mouth first before they picked up their phone to call the ladies. And how is it that they didn't know that Choma was still in Abuja if they were all in Abuja and they were all supposed to leave, because they went to Abuja on a private jet, right? So I'm expecting that they will return on a private jet, or even if you are traveling with public transport, didn't they have some kind of communication before they left? But anyways, I guess that's how it was scripted. So Choma said she's still in Abuja. It's her auntie's 60th birthday, so she's going to be there. But afterwards, she's going to fly down to Lagos, and if she's there on time, she's going to meet up with them. That's what she said. Okay, so this person was like, Laura was like, she's not going to come, and I'm not going to invite her. I'm not going to invite her. She's not going to come, and I'm not going to invite her. Neither Caroline. I know them. They're not going to come. And I felt like Laura was being childish with all these kind of and all of that. But then she now told the girls that the reason why she called them out is to tell them about her brand. And then she stood up, showed them the pink, nice two-piece she was wearing, and then she said to them that she's releasing this with her friend, and then she wants to do a runway show. She would love for them to walk the runway. And they were like all hailing her, and she was like, oh wow. Then I said Miriam has the body, like I told you people prior. Miriam looks very nice, has this figure, modeling body, and all of that. So yeah, and they all laughed about it. And but Laura was really insisting that she wasn't going to invite Choma. I don't know, but that's that. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, Laura said, okay. Okay, okay. All right. So that was that, right? She said she wasn't going to invite her, and that's it. And then they showed us what to expect for next week. And they showed Choma in her confessional. Choma is saying that Laura has not deemed it fit yet to invite her for her event. And they also showed Laura in her confessional where Laura is saying that she's not gonna come. Like she doesn't care. Like don't come. Like I don't care. Don't come, and all of that. So we don't know if Chama will be going for Laura's event. It seemed like it is going to be hard, but I'm believing that Yaba Ojo will do what she did in episode I think 3 or 4, where Shatta speaking with Laura, she went and told, and then it resulted in that big fight. So I'm believing Iyabo is still going to tell those girls tell Caroline and Choma what the girls were saying, and that will cause something. So let's wait and see what happens this Friday, because episode 6 is going to be hot also, just like this one. All right, so this brings us to the end of today's review. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the show? And do not forget to subscribe if you watch up to this end. You are a darling. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Till next time, next week, when we meet to talk about episode 6 of The Real Housewives of Lagos. Don't miss it. Thank you. Bye.